shower and just chasing out control. I know the operator.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Please, you can kill it.
Nobody trusts anybody now.
Come on, you hate. You want to live forever?
I got a really bad feeling. Godzilla will live.
And welcome back to another episode of the Monster Movie Stompdown. You got your host, Sludge, here. Co-host across from me is...
The Lorax.
And the Grandmaster from Texas.
Ruben.
So now you may notice we've changed from Master to Grandmaster in case you missed the last episode. Because, Ruben, do you want to let them know again why we're changing your name from Master to Grandmaster?
I'm Grandmaster now because RJ, and again, like I said in the last episode, true Catholic fashion, got married and promptly has made me a grandfather. I made a joke this past weekend because Cindy was looking at shirts to buy for Anna, and one of them says, promoted to title of mother. And I like, she just had the job of wife like for 2 hours, and RJ and RJ promoted her back right to mom immediately. She had no time on the job whatsoever. I said, they just wasted no time. I said, basically, they said their vows at 3:00, and I don't know, somewhere later that night, you know.
Yeah.
So I am, RJ has made me a grandfather to either the names they have so far. I hope I don't jinx them. Is Ruben Peter or Mabel Veronica. They both wanted names from
I
the
love
Bible
Mabel.
in there.
I love that name.
Yeah.
Mabel is great. I think that's fantastic. So, but yes, that's why he is now the Grandmaster. And again, congratulations, RJ, for that. Super stoked for you, and Ruben, of course. And man,
but I still, in case some of you that follow me on Facebook, I still can't announce it because their blood, both of them, it flows like molasses. They haven't told everybody that they want to know first before it gets posted. So both grandparents on both sides of the aisle are just dying to post it on Facebook for all of, and we can't do it because Anna and RJ have decided, we need to tell this person and this person and this person, and they haven't done it yet. And it's been almost 2 months now since she found out.
And you gotta stay hush.
Yeah. So I
got to stay hush. But I told them, I announced it on the show. So if one of your friends just happens to watch it, sorry. And he said, it's okay, Dad.
Well, so you guys definitely know first because we love you all, and Ruben had to get the news out, so we're pretty
it is driving me crazy. Just been driving. I had to tell somebody, and you guys, I think I texted you guys and told you guys as soon as I found out, and
Good stuff.
actually got a nice text from Kurt congratulating me, so that was nice of him.
Nice.
So it was cool.
Kurt's the man for sure. So
yeah.
We have got a fun episode. Am I having issues with this thing?
I don't know what you're doing.
I'm having to push the button and it seems to be delayed. Let's see. Professionals we are. So anyways, we're stoked for this one. We've got
we don't have the buttons. He does.
Yeah, I got the I think we're working here. We'll find out. You either hear me and see me or you're hearing me and seeing Ruben. I don't know. But it is our first TV episode, man. So we're pretty stoked to jump into this one. We've picked a good one for you guys. But man, before we jump into it, something super cool. If you remember back on episode 77, I believe it was, we did when the 70s hated us. We did a movie. I think was it Pete that suggested Killdozer? You remember?
No, it was not Pete. It was I forgot his name because he's not on Facebook or anything anymore. What was his name? Man, I'm sorry. I completely went blank. I have to look it up here in my messages.
Yep. But somebody did Killdozer, and so I'm going through the comic book shop the other day. I went to go see our buddy Rob from RobCon. Owns the local comic shop, Bristol's Mr. Rogers, and I'm going through a box. I'm like, I need to look through this box, and lo and behold, we talked about Marvel. Hopefully, everybody can see that did an issue for Killdozer. single issue as seen on TV, and I found it in the box, man. And it's in beautiful shape, and it was like $6. Had to pick it up. I'm like, this has got to go on display in the podcast room. So there it is, man. Super cool. Go back and listen to the episode, but now you've seen an actual copy of the Marvel comic book of the thing called Killdozer. I love how that's got the eyes. Like, you can really see the eyes on it. In this, which is pretty cool. But so
that is a great cover.
This is going to be going up on display.
Are you putting that in front of?
That's a nice find.
Anyway. Right now, don't.
Oh,
what, Ruben?
I believe it was Cameron Sullivan was the guy that suggested.
Oh yeah. Cameron Sullivan.
I remember him. Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Here we go.
That was way
tell
back
Stompy
when,
to
man.
shove
We're
it for a
talking
minute.
2020. Yeah.
Ooh, there's going to be trouble. There it is. Going to be trouble.
I'll find a place to put it, but Stompy will live for now. But yeah, so that was pretty cool.
He's out of control, Stompy. He's
man,
out of control.
While I was out and about, because I kind of spend the day with the wife and going to antique stores and did a comic book shop and things like that, I found something else, Mark, for you.
Oh, no.
And I thought it was great, so I got to get it from underneath the table real quick. Let's put the camera on Mark.
Well, before we go any farther, Ruben, I just want you to know, this is how far this thing has sunk here. Now, normally I get phone calls, hey, bring me a sweet tea when you come this way. So I'm having to bring. So tonight I'm in the car and I'm talking to Kayla on the phone, and he jumps in the car and says, you can drive me to the store and get me a drink.
That is not
I have become now. He thinks I'm his chauffeur.
Jeeves? Did he call you Jeeves
whatsoever?
To the store, Jeeves, to the store.
Then I had to tell him, get out of the back seat and get in the front. You're not riding in the back of my car.
So funny.
He's out of control.
No. I was not in the back seat. I got up and said, hey, let's run down to the gas station. I didn't boss it around or anything like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Look, and I'm sitting here giving you a gift. Okay, we're putting the camera back on you for that one since you're my driver.
Oh no! What is this?
I had to keep this hidden just for the Lorax. I found this and had because it has to be on display in the podcast room.
Okay, it's gonna be.
Here you go.
Oh my! Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
Here.
The original Dr. Seuss's The Lorax.
Oh yeah. Did you know about this too, Ruben?
No.
Okay.
I did not know about it.
Yeah.
All you said is
the camera.
I thought it was going to be a
Which
VH copy of RoboCop or something.
See,
look,
it looks just like you.
Here we go.
That is you.
Well, at least it's not Harry and the Hendersons because they used to call me that too.
Oh yeah. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Found that, and I was like, dude, we got to get that for the podcast room. And Ruben, I don't know if you can see it there.
Yeah.
The Lorax.
Oh yeah.
So that was Ruben. When did this come out? 1971.
There we go. I was 10 years old.
30 minutes. The one who speaks for the trees.
Speak for the trees.
So that's got to go over here.
Yeah, you can put that in front of the Killdozer.
Display. No, we're going to put it like on the VHS. It's got to go on the rack.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to replace Mothra. That's what we're going to do. We'll replace Mothra.
That'll work. Oh, looks good right there.
Right there next to Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
Next to Titanic.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it was a cool, fun little weekend. But, yeah, so we've got our first TV episode for you guys, and we've been excited about this. And, man, to celebrate, it was cool because we actually decided we did the host, the Korean film, the last episode. And so when we were trying to pick an episode, we decided first out the gate had to be the X-Files. What episode? And one of the most famous episodes happens to be called The Host.
Yes.
And we decided to do that. But one other cool thing to show you guys, just because we're nerds, here is a copy of the very first premiere issue of the official X-Files magazine. So we are big fans of this, which is, we love the show. Mark, actually, you're who got us on the show, but the first opening panel.
Page one
has a picture of the model of the Fluke Man, which is from the episode we will be reviewing tonight.
Yes.
Ruben, can you see that? The Fluke Man in there?
Yeah.
Pretty,
nice.
Pretty cool. So right out the gate, man, it was to be. This was to be.
There it is.
This is, So don't know that there's a episode or a trailer for this episode. Of course, it was titled The Host. It came out in season 2, episode 2. Premiered September 23rd, 1994. So either because we're recording this and I haven't found an episode trailer yet, so you're either going to watch a trailer for the X-Files show as a whole, or you're going to watch an episode for this trailer. So here you go.
Ever wonder what lives beneath your streets?
He was attacked by something down in the sewer.
Friday, Agents Mulder and Scully go looking, and what they find
Oh, God.
will terrify you.
This is not a man, it's a monster.
Nature didn't make this thing. We did.
And all new X-Files, Friday at 9, 8 Central.
All right, so y'all will have to tell us, if you like that episode or trailer for the show or for the episode, because
we have no idea what it's going to be.
Yeah, no clue. It's a surprise for all of us. We're on it today. So, but yeah, so this episode came out September 23rd, 1994. This was in season 2, second episode of season 2. This, of course, was written by Chris Carter, who started. He was the writer and creator of X-Files. He wrote this actual episode, and then this one starts off on like a Russian ship, like a just big container ship, and a guy gets attacked in what seems to be, I don't know what you'd call it, where all the poo goes, the septic tank on the
the ship
on the ship
the
itself,
waste. Yeah.
and which is kind of gross. But so they end up flushing it out to sea, and what it ends up being is this humanoid creature that had been mutated from Chernobyl. That was like a mutation of a fluke worm and a humanoid. And it gets down into the sewer systems, and of course, Mulder and Scully, they go to investigate this. What's going on? This particular death of a maintenance man that's working in the sewers, and then they find out what it is. This fluke man, and the episode deals with that. And one guy gets bit. They end up catching the fluke man. Of course, he does escape. They have to try and catch him again, and they believe at the end that, as they're down the water, he attacks another guy, and he starts to escape out of a tunnel, and that's got a gate that goes out to the open ocean. They're trying to prevent him from going out to the open ocean, and Mulder pulls a lever that shuts the gate, and it cuts the fluke man in half. And so they think that they've killed him, but lo and behold, at the end of the episode, you see a fresh fluke man show up there at the bottom of that sewer. So in New Jersey, I think is where it was, right?
In New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
So pretty cool episode, man. This one really sticks with you, definitely because of the design of the fluke man, who was played by Darren Morgan. And this episode, one of the things we're going to do for the TV episodes, if we can, we should be able to, is this one will give you the Nielsen household rating. So kind of like not like the Rotten Tomatoes for TV type deal. The Nielsen household rating is for all TV shows. This one is really high. They go to a 10 on Nielsen's rating. This one got a 9.8. It still holds a 9.8 today. And it was actually watched by 9.3 million viewers on its initial broadcasting. And so, since this is X-Files, and Mark is the X-Files man, the Lorax is the X-Files guy,
yes,
let's let him take off with this one.
Well, in our first, especially when you get into season 2, the X-Files has been shut down, and so it's actually Mulder's ticked off because he thinks that Skinner is kind of rubbing it in his face and makes him go to New Jersey
he's in a basement
to
somewhere.
investigate. Yeah. And then Scully gets in on the autopsy, and that's when it really gets going. It's X-Files, man. It's great. The whole series, in my opinion, was great. Chris Carter just does a phenomenal job on this whole series all the way through from start to finish, in my opinion. But I think with this, the host, they just kind of step it up to really where it pulls people in, because the material that they use, the subject matter that you use with Chernobyl and everything, pretty much what they wanted, I think their message to get out. I think it was an up and up. I mean, the special effects, everything is basic, but it gets the job done, and you're really into the characters and the storyline, and when it comes to X-Files, I thought I gave it a good stomp rating, but obviously you guys did a little bit more than me, and so everything about it great. The characters that are on there that you get to know after, from season 1, when you start in season 2, it's just nonstop and just keeps you going. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. Great job.
Ruben, what about you, man?
Man, this is one of my favorite X-Files episodes. And you're talking about the 9.3 million. We have to remember that back in the early 90s, Fox was an up-and-coming network. They there was the big three, and then there was Fox trying to make a make a mark for itself, and it wasn't available in some markets still. It was still, I think by 94 maybe it was, but I just remember Fox coming up. I'm like, man, they just have such original programming, starting with X-Files. I mean, I was like, man, this is awesome. And that's because of 94. I mean, I'm already in my 20s, been married for a couple of years, and so I'm an adult and I'm still stoked for it. I'm so, man, I got to see this, and X-Files was such, I want to say original, even though there's been other series before it that kind of compare to it, but this was still groundbreaking because it had the special effects of a big blockbuster movie. They had the money behind it to be able to actually invest and get yourself something like this rather than Killdozer.
Right,
comment, which was a made for TV movie. Usually made for TV stuff was not as great. Even if you go back to the Kolchak series and everything, you could see that they just, special effects just wasn't high on the list of budget items sometimes, and this one was great. I mean, and I thought the monster, believe it or not, reminded me a lot of the Universal monsters, and you almost feel sorry for the thing, because they capture it, and he's in jail and he's hiding behind, he's in a corner, just kind of, huddled up, scared, more scared than anything else. And, it's not his fault, kind of like Godzilla. It wasn't his fault he became Godzilla. It was nuclear, kind of like with this. So I like the way they did the monster that yes, he was a monster, and yes, he didn't really, I mean, I guess he did kill, that guy was found dead in the sewer, but, I guess that was from drowning or such, because he bit a couple of people and he didn't kill them. But I guess he would have taken them down and he would have killed them. So I thought the monster, the way it was done, was pretty good, for the 90s. It's good special effects. The story was great. It was original enough that you couldn't say, "Oh, this is just a knockoff of Creature from the Black Lagoon" or whatever. There was no damsel in distress in this one. It had a lot of, it reminded me of Alien, with having the parasites and being injected into a person, and the person really being fine until he starts spitting out stuff or whatever. So I thought that was great. So, as far as memorable, it's up there. I mean, that one was, when we started talking about it, that was the first one that came to mind. I think it was Mark that actually said, the host, and I'm like, oh yeah, we can't go without doing that one, because it's just one of those episodes that, I'm not going to say put X-Files on the map, because I think season 1 did pretty well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is. It did pretty well, but this one I think took it to the next level. Took X-Files to a different level that you thought, man, that's just as good as it's going to get, and then they just kind of picked it up a notch.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because if I remember, season 1 was more about, Mulder and his search for, UFOs
and all that stuff.
Sister and all that other stuff, and this one is like, okay, now we're just gonna kick it up a notch, and we're gonna open up this Pandora's box, and it really started, to me, it started with this one. And what I liked about X-Files is I watched the episode, and I didn't need to watch all of season 1 to know what was going on.
Oh yeah,
with Skinner and him in the basement and all. It kind of like incorporated it, and it catches you up without you feeling like you don't know what's going on. So that's what I liked about the episode also, even though, like I said, it's season 2, so not a lot has happened, but it was great. This got a high rating for me, because to me, it was groundbreaking, and it stepped up the X-Files a notch to maybe a broader audience than it had before, because, I've always been a UFO. I mean, there used to be Project UFO. Do you remember that one, Mark? Or maybe even you?
Yeah.
It was in the 70s, Project UFO.
Yep.
I used to watch that all the time. Even nowadays, there was a Project Blue Book on History Channel for 2 seasons. And, any kind of that. Yeah, that's great stuff. So this was right, X-Files is right up my alley. So I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I enjoyed this episode thoroughly.
Yeah, I think.
That's it, man. I had to-
Yeah, this one definitely. I agree with you. Stepped up a notch. I mean, because this show, 9 seasons from '93 to 2002. Then you had the 2 movies, and then you actually had the return seasons 10 and 11 in 2016 and 2018. And I mean, everyone knows this show, and I think it helped too. When you're talking about, because this show does have you didn't have to really see all season 1 to enjoy the episode, because Chris Carter handled the show very well, because it does have all the seasons in the movie, sans the second one, have an overarching story that starts with Mulder, his sister's disappearance, and the alien conspiracy, and you come to find out towards the end that the aliens were actually planning on taking over the world. But that only took up 1/3 of the show.
Yeah, well, and the good part of that's where Scully's brought in to debunk him in season 1, and then jumps on with him, and so that underlying story just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
Then every week there's something different happening. Also,
yeah, and that's the cool part is the other 2/3 of the show for all the seasons is the Monsters of the Week type format, what this one was. You know what I mean? So, which I think was perfect. Like Chris Carter and the crew just handled that. They didn't make it one long story that was the forefront. They kept that Monster of the Week that you liked from those shows like Twilight Zone, Kolchak. Those older shows that people loved. He kept that in there, which was super cool. And this one, Ruben, you're right. I mean, it really stepped it up. I'm with you guys. Special effects was great. Story was great. I loved, the Fluke Man was more of an innocent monster. He wasn't really malicious in any way, just trying to survive and to get out and whatnot. Like the prison sequence that Ruben was talking about is really, really good. But I'm going to tell you why this one stuck with me the most. It was years before I would go into a porta potty and not look down that freaking hole, you know what I mean? Because there's that scene where it gets out of the ambulance or they're transporting it, and it gets to that porta potty. And I'm like, dude, I remember for years, I'm like, man, I ain't using no porta potty without looking. I don't care how much crap I see. But I'm expecting to look down there and see the Fluke Man staring at me, And
I didn't need to watch this episode to not want to go into a porta potty.
Well,
this
not that I've been in a lot of them, but I just remember, like, dude, it ain't happening, because that was a great sequence.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of like with Jaws when it came out. So many people were scared to go to the beach. That's the effect it had on people. Yeah.
Jaws terrified people of the beach, and the Fluke Man terrified people with porta potties.
Exactly,
that's what happens. So, I mean, I love this episode, man. There are standout episodes. I mean, there's at least a couple each season, but there are a few episodes that just really stand out. And the Fluke Man or the host episode is definitely one of the top. I would put it in the top 5 episodes for X-Files. Just so
definitely
good. Absolutely loved it, man. So I mean, let's jump into it, man. Let's find out what the Stompdown rating is. All right, collectively, I mean, we were all pretty close. Me and Ruben did give it a tad more than Mark did, but collectively, out of 5 stomps, 4.5 from us over here.
Very good.
To be fair to Mark, he saw, he was an X-Files guy.
Yeah.
So his critique is a little rougher, a little bit. He's got a stringent way of looking at things since the X-Files.
It just made me want to just keep watching and watching.
Yes.
Let's go to the next episode. Let's go to the next episode. Just very good.
Oh yeah, because the X-Files was your bag, man.
Oh,
it wasn't a show that in the household that I was like, oh, I saw it. I'm like, I got to watch this. You were who started watching this.
Yes.
And I got drug into it. You know what I mean? You even went, because Chris Carter did X-Files. He also did Millennium with Lance Henriksen.
Oh, yeah.
And then you found that show and started watching that show. Unfortunately, that show didn't run as long. I loved Millennium. It was super good. But this one, 4.5 stomps out of us. It's, Mark gave it a 4 because, I mean, he's seen every X-Files episode. I have not. I don't know if, Ruben, if you've watched all.
No, I don't think I have. I've seen almost all of them, but not really. And I don't think I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no that I haven't.
And I even thought about too. When I was at Rob's this weekend. If I had the money, I would have picked it up. But he's got in box still, perfect shape from the first X-Files movie, the caveman and the alien together in one box. It's hanging up on the wall. It's like, we're to do the X-Files. Mark would love this.
Oh yeah.
From the first film, I love this episode, man. We all do. When it comes to X-Files, if you've never seen an episode of X-Files, which would be really I don't know. I must
yeah.
imagine like almost everybody's seen at least one episode. This is the one to start with, man. Like you guys got to check this one out.
No. We don't. No. We start from the beginning.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you got to start from and then you get it and you get it going. And for all those, I don't know that we need to, pump a streaming service, but Hulu has it all. And so
It's every one.
yeah, they got it all. And so if you got that, look it up, get started.
Well, I mean,
but when you get to the host, you're really going to love it.
oh
Really
yeah,
love it.
this episode's just stellar.
Oh,
and
yeah,
and
really.
even on top of it, man, like I was watching it and Sarah was walking somewhere else in the house and she heard the music. And then like you just know, like that theme
yeah.
song, just
That
everybody
is,
knows
yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Which Ruben, that should go up as a monster.
Yeah,
Mash one
you
day.
know what?
yeah.
You know what, man?
There you go.
That's
right
what I'm
there.
gonna do. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not gonna.
super
This
good.
is not gonna air till Saturday, so Wednesday, I think I'll do the X-Files theme. And
Man, it's one of those
honor of
ones,
that,
man.
yeah.
Just it
It does.
creeps and it's perfect. It's perfect, and this episode's near perfect as well. So definitely check out the X-Files. I'm sure we will be covering up a couple episodes from it, in the future as we go through these TV episodes. But the host is definitely one to look out for because it was
Definitely.
super
Definitely.
good.
Very good.
All right, well now is what's coming to be everybody's favorite time of the show.
oh boy,
It's time to test your might.
Test your might. Test your might. Test your might. Test your might. Test your might.
Okay, so we lost the last round because Ruben had a lucky guess.
We did.
yeah, very lucky.
And me and Mark, unfortunately, it just hurts so bad. Had to watch Jaws 3 or Jaws 3D, as most people would talk. May know it from back in the day. So, Mark, how was your experience of this? Of this movie?
I really enjoyed it. I watched it this afternoon, and I'm a Dennis Quaid fan, and loved the movie. I mean, I wish maybe went a little bit more in depth with the Jaws shark, but I'm a thumbs up on it. I really enjoyed it, and I appreciated.
Ruben looks so happy about this over there.
Sorry.
Hey man, I'm in the same boat with you, sir. I love this movie.
Yes, great movie.
This
Great
one
movie.
actually is my second favorite of all four.
No.
In
Are you
comparison.
kidding me?
Yes.
Oh my god.
When it comes to those four movies, this one's number 2 for me, man.
Oh.
Because one, you can't go wrong with Dennis Quaid and Lou Gossett Jr.
Oh yeah, that's right.
together on
Yes,
screen. You know what I
definitely,
mean? They were
definitely.
phenomenal enemy mine.
Yes.
They're going to be great in Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Was there issues with this movie? Absolutely. How many times the mother shark swims backward is absurd. I mean, I think I counted at least 4 times she swims backward. Even the young one swims backwards twice. It's like they can't even do that. And then some of the science in the movie makes no sense. When she's talking about the baby and the mom, I'm like, no, when the great whites are born, like most of those species of oceanic sharks, the babies come out and they bolt because mom will eat them. You know what I mean? They're not there to protect them. They're not protective species. So it's absurd. But the characters were great, and it's honestly one of my favorite performances by Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid was quoted in an interview saying that he was high on cocaine every scene of this movie because he was doing cocaine back then, and he was high every time you saw him, and so he was very eccentric. I thought it was fantastic. This one's so much fun. And it is my second favorite.
Probably the worst part of the movie was the 3D attempt. As you're watching it, because back then, I mean, the 3D wasn't that great, and so for that fact, Ruben, we suffered through that.
Yeah,
we did.
If it makes you feel better,
I give up. I give up. Of course, I guess because Sludge here tried to give us a terrible movie that we enjoyed.
Yeah,
Me
well,
and you
see, that's
enjoyed,
just the
so
way
I
it works.
guess-
So
Now I know how you feel. Now I know how you felt. You know, I was like, shoot, I like this one.
I mean, I remember as a kid when I first went watching this at my grandfather's house. We had bought the actual 3D cassette VHS tape.
Yeah.
We had the glasses. I remember sitting on the edge of the bed in the extra bedroom watching this in 3D with the glasses on. Freaking loved it. Loved it so good. Thank you, Ruben, for picking my second favorite Jaws movie.
Actually, to be honest with you, I was kind of shocked when he said it. You know, when
I was too.
You know, and he said it with such force. You're watching Jaws 3 in 3D, and I'm like, is he attacking us, or are we just excited here? This is great.
And y'all did a good job of playing it off like, oh, no, woe is me. Don't throw me into that briar patch. I'm like, man, I can't tell you what, because to me, 3 and 4 are horrible. You know, I prefer 1 and 2, and then it went downhill from there.
Yeah, I would go.
I can't believe you like 3 more than you like 2.
I would rank them 1, 3, 2, and 4.
No, see, I would go just 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4, no.
Yeah.
But one, I like Jaws 2.
Although 2 had one annoying screaming girl that screamed all the time. She was.
Oh my gosh!
almost
Yes.
to the point.
Holy cow!
Oh
yes.
my God! That's the one thing about the movie. I'm like, good Lord, just stop screaming. You know,
Yeah.
but other than that, I thought 3D was horrible on it.
And this one on Jaws 3, if y'all didn't know, they actually wanted Roy to come back and play Brody again because he was supposed to be in it with the boys, but he didn't want to, so he went and took Blue Thunder, the helicopter movie with Daniel Stern.
Right.
He did it just so he didn't have to do Jaws 3. So he didn't really want to do Blue Thunder, but he's like, that's better than Jaws. Like, I'm done with that. So, but all right, let's move on to our trivia since Ruben just gave us a horrible experience with Jaws 3D. All right, here we go.
I hope my guesses go well today.
Me too. This is what I think Mark will have the one up on us on this one. So.
I don't know that.
Yeah,
Right,
I think he
let's
does.
pull this up here. Okay, question 1. How did Mulder get assigned to the case? So I guess the case in the episode, the host. A, Mulder was on the scene of the first murder. B, Scully wouldn't do it without him. Or C, Skinner requested him specifically.
All right, this is going to be easier than I thought. Well, I say that. I'm going to jinx the whole thing.
We'll wait and see. Okay. When Mulder went to Skinner's office to tell him what he thought about his assignments, what did Mulder suggest might be his next assignment? A, scouring pots in the FBI cafeteria. B, scrubbing the bathroom floors with a toothbrush. Or C, cleaning Skinner's office walls with his tongue.
Good Lord.
I don't remember that.
I do. I do. So so far, I'm going to be all right.
I may have
Maybe.
missed that one. I'm not sure.
We might have to watch Jaws 4. We better be careful
here
here.
we go.
All right, number 3. Who did Scully say she talked to at the FBI regarding her conversation with Mulder about him leaving the FBI? A, no one. B, Krycek. Or C, the smoking man? Again, who did Scully say she talked to at the FBI regarding her conversation with Mulder about him leaving the FBI? A, no one. B, Krycek. Or C, the smoking man?
Hey, now, okay, so before we go any further, so if we all three get all 3 of these right, I think we need to pick a movie that Charlie has to watch, and then he has to come on.
And he has to come on and review it.
I think, hey, you know what? We haven't talked to him ahead of time, but we'll just make that happen.
After what Pete put him through, right?
He just February was a month of hell for Charlie. We're that. So, all right, we ready for the answers?
Let's do this.
Yeah,
Let me get down and open those up. Okay. Number 1. How did Mulder get assigned to the case? Correct answer was C. Skinner requested him specifically.
Yep.
Number 2. When Mulder, I hope we all get this right. Yeah. Someone cheat if we don't. When Mulder went to Skinner's office to tell him what he thought about his assignments, what did Mulder suggest might be his next assignment? Correct answer was B. Scrubbing the bathroom floors with a toothbrush.
Bam.
I remember the toothbrush.
We'll be seeing you, Charlie. You're coming to see us.
Number 3. Who did Scully say she talked to at the FBI regarding her conversation with Mulder about him leaving the FBI? Correct answer was A. No
No
one.
one.
Nobody.
Is that all
She
three?
would never
All three of us.
betray
All three?
her confidence. She said that. She said, I would never betray your confidence.
Oh, man.
That's right.
All three.
All three.
Okay.
So, Charlie.
You coming to see us?
Yep. You're taking a visit to the Stompdown. And, Mark, you're the X-Files fanatic. Do you have a movie?
You know, I hadn't even thought about it, really. Wow. No, I don't have one. And you have to give me a minute to look at that because I'm so used to losing. I never worry about these things. I don't know. What do you guys got? What do you think?
You want to do an X-Files episode? Is that what you want to do?
Well, I'm thinking, because I know he did suffer because of Pete for a month, but we want him to watch something that's going to be pretty rough, right?
Right.
I might have.
What do you have up your sleeve?
I might have. Hold on. Something that's pretty rough, but would be up Charlie's alley. It's a monster movie, but an action movie at the same time.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up on Plex here. So people know. We got Plex coming up here.
Coming up.
If it'll load. Okay. Oh yeah, this goes in alpha or yeah, I don't remember what year it came out in.
Oh, that's
It's 80s. I know that much. Let me scroll down to the 80s. I know it was an 80s film, and it's in this list, I hope. This will be where
Howard the Duck. You gonna make him watch Howard the Duck?
Howard the Duck.
Who doesn't enjoy Howard the Duck?
Yeah, I love Howard the Duck.
I do too. It's so good.
What is it you're looking for on there?
I am getting there. Hold on.
I see. Ooh, Lost Boys. Yeah.
There it is.
That's not a punishment. Yeah.
All right, Charlie. You are watching the 1989 movie Arena. A human becomes an unlikely rising star in the biggest fighting tournament in the galaxy that's dominated by alien species.
All right.
Came out in 1985 or 1989, directed by Peter Manoogian. This one, yes, that is what Charlie's going to watch. And so, tons of monsters in it. It's got a pretty bad rating from Rotten Tomatoes, but tons of alien monsters. But
Well, that
this
don't
is
mean
about
much.
a gladiator tournament, so it's right up the action movie alleyway. So tried to help you out a little bit, Charlie. But Charlie, there you go. Since you didn't know and you didn't agree to it, we're just making it happen anyways. You get to watch Arena, and you got to come tell us what you thought about Arena. So,
Oh yeah, that looks good.
I think that
looks
works.
good.
You see it there? You got it up?
Sludge, for the record, whose idea was this?
Okay, so this one was this was Lorax's idea. Now the
Yeah,
Lorax,
that's
of
right.
course, never questions Charlie, never betrays
Charlie.
Charlie. So let that be known, Charlie.
I'm just.
if you go through hell on this, this was the Lorax's idea the entire time.
Yeah.
It was
I'm-
that
I'm
right
over
there
here.
that you see.
Well,
You see me? This is Pontius Pilate
Oh, yeah.
washing his
Oh, yeah.
hands.
Yeah, Ruben's hands are washed clean.
Even though I'm laughing and agreeing, but I'm like, no, I have nothing to do with this.
This has nothing to do with him.
well, I just thought, I just figured since we all aced that one, somebody had to pay the price, and since Charlie was the question man.
Oh man, had to.
Hey, no biggie, Charlie.
There you go.
Good.
Sorry,
It'll be
Charlie.
good.
I try to take care of you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
I
yeah.
try to take
He
care of you.
really does.
Yeah,
He really
so,
does.
But Charlie may have seen this one. I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, he's watched, Metal Storm, the story of Jared Sin and stuff. So he may have seen Arena. Who knows? But all right, there we go. So that wraps up our first TV episode. We're so glad to finally get that started, and we can't wait to do more of those. We've got some cool episodes coming up. We do have, we talked about in the last episode, the Gamera anime series that's coming out sometime this year. So we're going to start. We realized we didn't do the Showa Gamera series. We've never done those. So for my birthday episode next month, we have picked the original 1965 Gamera film. We're going to be watching it. And then the next episode next month is going to be pretty much Ruben-led because it is Kong's 90th birthday. Yes. And so we're going to do a King Kong retrospective. We'll go back and look at all the films, shows, and whatever else Kong exists that Ruben probably tells. Ruben! Thinking about it, actually, I was at the antiques. I saw all kinds of stuff at the antique store this week, and I'm telling you.
Really?
We were walking down, and I just happened to catch at the corner of my eye of this one booth, and it had a Barbie in a box and it was Fay Ray's character from
No,
Kong,
really?
and she's sitting in Kong's hand.
Wow.
And it's got Kong in the back of the box, like his eyes. I was like, dang. I was like, I bet Ruben. I would never own a Barbie, but I bet Ruben would totally own this Barbie.
I would totally. I own a Barbie, or Wonder Woman, a couple of Wonder Woman Barbies.
Really?
Wow.
You
Yes,
own a
I
Wonder
do.
Woman Barbie?
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What you got to say about that?
I don't own no Barbie, but I don't know what I can say about that because I got nothing. I'm blank.
But
I
you
know.
own the Titanic. I see it over there.
That ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah,
Look,
just thought
I didn't
I'd
pay
say-
for that.
just
I didn't
thought
pay
I'd
for that. He paid for his Barbies. I didn't
Yeah.
pay for the Titanic.
I don't know. He did.
I don't know if he did.
Well,
Just throwing it
I
out,
say I own them. I mean, Cindy. I bought them for Cindy, but they're. I'm the one.
Oh,
who's
okay,
There you go.
okay,
There
okay.
you go.
Yeah. So
There
now
you go.
he's
There you go.
quickly come up with a
So
cover
let's
there.
just
He
say
bought
if
Cindy.
we ever got a divorce, I guess she'd take it with her. But maybe I wouldn't let her. I probably wouldn't let her. I like to, and it's still in the box. So I don't take out and play with it or nothing. I'm not some kind of pervert or anything. I just.
Well, I'd hope
do
not.
stare at it.
Yeah.
Now, if they had a Phoebe Cates as Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Then,
well, this
you
is
know,
So we keep this PG
Yeah.
show here.
If
We know Phoebe Cates and Ruben how that goes.
it is, then I would have it right here, right next to me, right here,
Right next
here.
to him, that's
right
fine,
next
so.
to me.
That's great.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all again so much. Join us next month. Of course, we got the first Gamer film, which started the second, longest running Giant Monsters movie series of all time, and then we're going to do a Kong retrospective, which will be a ton of fun. So, all right, and of course, make sure you are checking out all the other episodes on the podcast network. So, give me back my action movies, give me back my horror movies, give me back my pro wrestling, and of course, our brothers over at Good Beer Bad Movie Night. We love you, Pete, Troy, all of yous. Charlie, we love you too, even though Mark's making you. watch
Hey,
this
we
movie.
could have called
So-
Pete and have him come up with a movie for us. So you're doing pretty
man.
good.
Well, yeah. We could have, we, at least we didn't do that. Charlie's had enough of that for a
'cause
month.
I know
so,
he likes the Pete movies.
He does.
Oh.
So make sure to check out all the other shows from our partners over on the Give Me Back My Podcast Network. Go follow us on the social media sites. Find us on the Monster Movie Stompdown group on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram because, as always, we give you guys multiple content throughout the week on top of the shows. And the Underdogs, Monster Mash Wednesdays, we will be having the Friday Night Fights coming back very, very soon. Again, we're kind of moving directions with that a little bit, and we're getting it all prepped and ready for you guys. But the biggest thing is it's a community of family that just have a great time talking about monster movies, and I'll throw in some news sometimes and some of the other guys. So check us out and follow us. And again, thank you so much. This is Sludge.
And the Lorax.
And you got the Grandmaster in Texas.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Night.